Welcome to Parlay Power Hour for November 9th, 2021. I am Tanner Kern. I'm your host of the show. I'm joined by my co-host, G-Money Grant Mitchell. Grant, before you talk, I need to make an announcement. I'm wearing a Bears sweatshirt today, or a sweater, pullover, whatever you want to say. I'm a little flustered from this weekend. 7 of 12 underdogs winning on Sunday afternoon did not do well for my bankroll, but I'm wearing a Bears sweatshirt, sweater, pullover, whatever you want to say, because here's the thing. The Bears covered last night. The Steelers allowed them to cover, but the Bears still covered. I went with the Steelers last night because the Steelers were playing for America. They were fighting for America, the favorites of America, and the Bears found a way to cover. So I figure if you can't beat them, join them.
Am I supposed to just jump in on that?
You can talk now, yes.
You were trying to be very poetic with your whole "the Steelers are playing for America" deal there.
It was actually poetic. It was very poetic.
It was poetic, but I mean, hey, it didn't work out. What do we think of the ref completely throwing the game with that penalty that he threw? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't want to talk about
it. He leaned into the guy as he was walking by.
See, I did see that, and like that didn't affect the cover, like that, like the steal, like that didn't matter for -7 +7 because that was against the Bears.
Well, yeah, it didn't affect the cover, but it affected the game.
So I don't care.
The Bears could have won that game.
Yeah, but like in the third, when did the Steelers fumble on the kickoff? Like they were taking the ball and then they were up by 10. That was like what, third quarter, fourth quarter?
Yep.
So if they take the ball there, they don't fumble, they go score, they're up 17. There's the cover. I don't care. See, like I could care less about that penalty because the Steelers didn't cover. I don't care about who won the game. I cared Steelers -7. That's all I cared about, G-Money. So I don't care about that penalty. That was a stupid call, though, by the way. He clearly like ran into the guy unintentionally.
Well, not only that, the ref backed into him. Like, I don't understand.
The ref didn't see, though, too. He was moving backward. Like, it was just like a mistake. That's what I would say. You know, it wasn't a mistake, though. It was Nikola Jokic.
I know it's hard for you to pronounce.
Jokic throwing a little Serbian right elbow into the back of Markieff Morris last night.
Yeah, and I'm on his side. He deserved it.
I am too.
You throw a cheap shot, you're getting one back, except you're getting it back from a man who's over 7 feet tall and probably got 60 to 80 pounds on you.
They like wrestle bears in Serbia. Like he was messing with the wrong dude. Markieff Morris should not have met. And I think LeBron's on Twitter tweeting about, like, LeBron, just shut up. Marcus Morris, like, yo, you don't mess with family, bro. Noted. Like, what are you gonna do? You got Jimmy Butler saying, hey, meet me in the back. Meet me there, Jimmy. This dude would whoop your ass. Okay. If it was Jimmy Butler.
It wasn't only saying meet me in the back. They gathered in the back after the game. Like there were 6 or 7 Heat players out there, and the security ended up coming up to them and getting them back in the locker room before they could get to Jokic. But I will say, if there's one guy in the NBA that I would be afraid of, it's probably Jimmy Butler, to be completely honest with you. Jimmy Butler is hardcore. He doesn't care about anything. So I mean, it would be funny to see Nikola Jokic's bloodline back in Serbia take on Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat.
Grant, they wrestle bears in Serbia. Okay, you think Jokic is afraid of Jimmy Butler? That he's wrestled a bear before. All right, he threw that elbow. He knew exactly what he was. He threw that elbow. I didn't do anything. It was great. I love that. It's sports. How can you not love sports?
That's sports. That is sports. That's a great way to put it.
It's sports. You know what? If you think there's a problem with that, then you know what? Stop watching sports. This is the best hour of your day. Obviously, we call it how it is on this show. You know what? I would rank that. Like I'd like to see Jokic versus Jimmy Butler in the UFC too. By the way. But anyways, this is the best hour of your day. FanDuel $1,000 risk-free bet. Links in the description below. We didn't see it yesterday. We were with you spiritually, mentally, but we weren't able to get to you guys in person yesterday. So we're sorry about that. But we're back today. And Grant starting off with Paul George, a little double-double plus 140.
Yes, I am. I'm going Paul George for a double-double. Now, in years past, this would have been somewhat of an outlandish pick. Not that Paul George couldn't pull off, nights like these, but he just wasn't asked to with a teammate and Kawhi Leonard next to him. They often got to balance the load between them, but Kawhi Leonard is out with his knee injury. Paul George has really been the guy in LA. He's leading the team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. His rebound total, or average, I should say, is at 8.2 per game for the year. And that's including a game where he had 0 rebounds. And keep in mind, the season is still fairly young. So we know that number is skewed. If you look at his numbers here, he has gotten 4 double doubles so far this season. Going against the Trailblazers team tonight, which likes to play with pace, they like to shoot the ball a lot, especially from 3. Longer shots lead to longer rebounds, which favors guards and forwards, which Paul George is. And if Damian Lillard is still off like he has been, especially we know we're going to get some extra misses on those long shots, Paul George, I think, is there to reap the benefit. I think the Clippers are going to win this one. It's going to be a high-scoring game, which we will circle back to in a little bit. But I think he gets a double-double in the process.
Yeah, I mean, I think the points is the points. There's no fear with that. It's the rebounding total tonight. So hopefully we get some missed shots so he can grab some boards, maybe some offensive boards. G Money maybe gets in there, get a little offensive board, some little extra work tonight. We'll see. I do like this bet though. This is value. G Money just goes through and he looks for value in the sports books, and that's what you got to love about it. Who would have thought? Who's thinking about Paul George double at night at plus 140? Only Grant Mitchell.
And give me some credit here too, Tanner. While we've been off the air for 3 days now. And on those 3 days, I went 3 for 3 twice, and I went 2 for 3 another. In there, I had a plus 430, I had a plus 350, I had a plus 280. I'm good with the value on these NBA bets.
Yeah, I've been pretty good. I haven't been doing the props as much, but I've been going like lines and money. I haven't been doing many money lines. Been doing a lot of spreads. But I've been doing pretty well there. Hopefully that can translate over to college hoops. Got a little college basketball. It's back tonight, G Money. Kansas minus 4.5 versus Michigan State. Kansas comes in as the 3rd-ranked team in the country, and this game is at the Garden, the mecca of basketball.
The Garden.
Not Boston Garden, the Garden. All right, we look at Michigan State in this game. They're young. They're very young. That's going to be an issue for them, I think, coming into this one. Obviously, people think Michigan State can cover plus 4.5. Plus 4.5 is more favored than minus 4.5 for the Jayhawks tonight. Northeastern transfer point guard Tyson Walker is going to be their big guy tonight. He's also going to have Max Christie next to him, who's a freshman. You don't know what your freshmen are going to get. He averaged 15.5 points in their exhibition games this year. But again, it's an exhibition game. I haven't seen enough from Michigan State to trust them. Obviously, they got Izzo there. He's going to lead this team. But again, I don't trust Michigan State enough. When you look at Kansas, they got 4 players returning who averaged close to 10 points last season and 4 transfers who were doing double-doubles at their old schools, like Remy Martin, 19.1 points per game at Arizona State. ASU, gotta love it, biggest party school in the country. Now, the only thing that could be difficult for them is they won't have Jalen Wilson tonight. Wilson's at 6'8", power forward. He's coming off a little DUI, been pounding the Bud Lights a little too much, so that's a problem. He will not be on the court tonight, but I still think Kansas covers minus 4.5 with these.
Are you confirming that he was drinking Bud Lights that night?
I am not confirming he was drinking Bud Lights, but I am confirming his blood alcohol content was way above legal limits.
Legal limits, he only has to be over 0.02 theoretically, right? So yeah. 1 beer, he's pretpretty much gone. Go ahead.
Don't be drinking before your freaking biggest basketball game of your season. That's the bottom line.
Whoa, Tanner, don't be drinking before you drive. How about that?
And before the season starts.
Priorities of a sports bettor.
Yeah, listen, if Kansas doesn't cover minus 4.5, I'm calling him up. I'm saying, listen, buddy, you know what? Start drinking some Gatorade instead of some Bud Lights, because that's a problem.
Yeah, Tanner, I'm going to roll with you on this one. Both teams, we don't really know what to expect from them. It's the first game of the season. This happens to pretty much every team. You're going to see a lot of underdogs cover the spread tonight because even the good teams come out and they look a little rusty. Normally they come out in the second half and they look much better. It's just sort of getting your sea legs. This is the first game of the season. I will say it's pretty impressive that these guys are squaring off. Most big teams prefer to take on easier opponents to get their season started. I'm going to go with you here. I like Kansas. I like their experience. I like Remy Martin a lot. You mentioned he came over from Arizona State. I think he's going to have a huge impact. He's going to fit very well into this conference. I expect Michigan State to be a tournament team. I think they will be ranked later on in the season, but I just think that Kansas has more talent on paper, and that's pretty much what matters in the first game of the season since there isn't a bunch of chemistry and familiarity. So Kansas minus 4.5, I like this one.
Yeah, definitely love it. We're sticking with Grant just like hammered the Trailblazers Clippers game tonight. Props, big bets, totals. He's got it all covered there. Andre Drummond, 12 plus rebounds in this game. A little UConn alum. Gotta love it. I'm a UConn alum, Grant. Basically, me and Andre Drummond are boys.
He was way before your time though, so I don't know if it's fair to say that.
We're still boys. He's from Middletown actually, and I went to high school in Middletown. And I knew a lot of kids I knew him very well. So
Did you know that his nickname is the Big Penguin because he likes penguins?
I did know that. I'm a big Andre Drummond guy. That's why he's going to hammer 12 plus rebounds tonight for me, for America, for the sports bettors of America.
Yeah, he has to since the Steelers couldn't hold up their end. It's Andre Drummond, 12 plus rebounds tonight. If you know one thing about Andre Drummond, it's that he is about 300 pounds. He is immovable under the paint. He may not be the most aware on defense at times. He may not have a very diverse offensive skill set. One thing he is amazing at is grabbing those rebounds. And if you need some proof, you can look at the game from last night against the New York Knicks. Joel Embiid did not play. That also factors into this bet here because he's not going to be playing tonight either, per reports. You know, if a miracle happens and he plays, then obviously take this bet with a grain of salt. But looking at what Andre Drummond did the other night against the New York Knicks, he had 14 points and 25 rebounds. I mean, the guy is very capable of grabbing a bunch of boards. Honestly, I would be willing to go for 14 plus rebounds. Kind of depends on the line that comes out. The reason it says TBD is because it has not been released yet. But 12 plus, that's the absolute minimum. I wouldn't mind you going 14 plus in this game whatsoever, especially against the Bucks. You know, he's going to be competing with Giannis, and Giannis is tremendous at grabbing rebounds. But it also means that when he has the ball, and when he's out defending on the perimeter, the Bucks don't have a real true rebounder in there. Brook Lopez, we know, just wants to camp on the three-point line. Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday are not big enough to compete with Drummond if the ball is within his wingspan. So I think I'm very confident in this one. This is the one I'm most confident in today.
The Bucks just went to the White House yesterday. Did you know that?
I saw that. And then Bobby Portis posted a picture of him saying Bobby POTUS, which I thought was hilarious.
There you go. All right. We're going back to the Trailblazers and the Clippers here, over 221. I'm like lagging. Is my screen lagging right now?
Oh, you're good. Play through the pain.
I'm playing through the pain. All right. Fast-paced game here. A lot of three-pointers. Grant, take it away.
Yeah, it goes back to what I was saying earlier with my Paul George double-double here. I mentioned that if Damian Lillard continues to struggle, PG would have more rebound opportunities. I do think he's going to take a lot of shots because that's what Damian Lillard does. I do expect him to make more than he has been making, though. I think he might make 3 or 4 threes tonight. I think he's going to score over 20 plus. He's finally going to give CJ McCollum that running mate that he's been looking for. I also think that the Clippers, they're in the midst of a 4-game winning streak. Blazers have won 2 in a row. Both these teams are starting to click a little bit. I think that means we're in for a shootout in Los Angeles tonight. I think the final score ends up being somewhere around 120, 115, which means we go over with ease.
Grant, now the Clippers defense was pretty good against the Hornets the other day. How do you think that's going to play into this game? Because if defense is good, Grant, you know what that means. Game staying.
Yeah, it means they have fewer points. I mean, their defense it was decent against the Hornets, but the Hornets still put up 106 on them. So if you do the math, it means as long as the Clippers have a near similar offensive output, that game can still go over. And I like the Hornets. I love what they've been doing. I like their style of play. I think James Borrego is doing a great job with that crew. Just watched them go to OT with the Lakers last night, which the Lakers obviously pulled out. But I think they are still a very, very young team, which means they can be inconsistent. Portland, they've got more star power, first of all, in CJ and Dame. And I think Dame, he's too experienced to keep struggling the way he is. So I don't think it's going to play a huge factor, especially if the Clippers' offense is rolling. That means they're going to be putting more effort into offense than defense. And I'm banking on that to happen.
All right, there you go. G Money said it. Final thoughts. Quick show today. Love it. Gotta love it. Final thoughts. Football Tuesday.
I did all the talking. You go first.
Let me think what my final thought is. It's a basketball day. I love basketball. Obviously, I'm a big basketball guy, but I do miss baseball. Miss it. Miss it.
All right. Here, Tanner. This can be your final thought for today.
What?
If you could move one player in baseball over this summer and put him on a team of your choice, where would it go?
Let's see here. I'm going to say the Red Sox. Who would I want to see on the Red Sox? I kind of want to see a guy like Freddie Freeman on the Red Sox, honestly, even though that's never going to happen. I would like to see I'd like to see a big time pitcher on the Red Sox. Give me like a Max Scherzer, which they're not going to do that. They're going to go for a young guy that they can lock up for a long time. But probably a big name pitcher. You know who's going to end? Mickey Mouse Marcus Stroman's going to be a Red Sox. I think Marcus Stroman's contract. So I think he'll be a Red Sox this year. I don't want to see that, but we need a big name pitcher. So that's definitely what I'm looking for.
Mickey Mouse. You got Mickey Mouse on your team.
Mickey Mouse, Mark Stroman. Yeah.
Him and Kyle will not make an impact. Schwarber can be your dynamic duo next
Kyle
year.
from Waltham, Schwarber. I don't think so. I don't think Schwarber will be re-signed. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure about it that one either.
I don't think he'll be re-signed at all. No, I think that was a one-time thing, but it was fun while it lasted. Kyle from Waltham will forever be a Bostonian, so I'm excited about that. But you know what? We're in good shape. JD Martinez is coming back, so that'll be good. And yeah, roll Tide.
My final thought for today, it's short and sweet. Virginia Tech is playing today, and I'm not terrified, which is a good sign because I like our basketball coach, and I trust him. And you never bet Virginia Tech in football, but you bet Virginia Tech in basketball.
You told me Virginia Tech was going to cover the other night. I didn't listen to you. Good thing I didn't listen to you because the red bandana game, the Phil Jerkovich, the whatever, they dominated. It wasn't even close. I had no fear. I was
once chilling. Again, Tanner is lying to the American public.
You said they're going to cover.
You said does Boston College cover tonight? And I said it depends on if their quarterback plays. And
he didn't do anything, but he didn't do anything.
It doesn't matter. You played. Tanner, you played football. When your star goes out there, even if he's hurt, that does something to the team.
He sucked. Like he wasn't that good. They just dominated. Like you guys had no offense. He didn't complete a pass till the third quarter.
Excuse me. We had one completion for 3 yards at halftime.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like you guys sucked. But anyway,
if Jerkovich didn't do that much, then why did you write an article saying Phil Jerkovich carried the Eagles to victory in the red bandana game, huh?
He did enough to win, but he didn't do
it.
Yeah. He did enough to win.
I was right. I said if Jerkovich plays, then they'll cover. Tanner's lying once again.
He did enough to beat your bad program. That's what I think, G-Money. All right. That's it. Parlay Power Hour is over for today. It's Football Tuesday. I got to do my videos. Football Tuesday, baby. Got to love it. That was Parlay Power Hour for November 9th, 2021. Put them up. G-Money, one thumb, one finger, one pinky. All love. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of The Electric Factory.